Welcome back today, guys. So today we're going to talk about something very fun. So I am 33 years old, going to be 34 this year. And so I grew up in the height of Discovery Channel. And I'm super nerdy. Still love watching that stuff to this day. American Chopper, Dirty Jobs, Deadliest Catch, all of those shows like that. But one that really just kind of has a special place in my heart was Mythbusters. So I still watch Adam Savage on his YouTube channel to this day. And that was my childhood and ultimately my adulthood too. And so the title of today's video is Business Myths Busted, What You Really Need to Know Before Starting a Business. And let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be busting some business myths today. Some things that may be holding you back from either starting your business or moving forward with your business. So, alright, so myth number one is you need a lot of money to start a business. Alright, so this one is actually really close to my heart and close to my situation. I did not have a ton of money to throw into my business when I started it. But the thing is, I didn't spend any money really on my business. Ended up having to buy a new laptop and things like that, but that was really just by choice because I wanted to upgrade what I had, because I do digital marketing and graphic design and things like that and just needed an upgraded computer to begin with. But when it really comes down to it, the way that things are these days, you can run an entire business, depending on what it is, even just from your smartphone. So really try to think outside the box when it comes to your business idea, the way you're going about it, because it's not the situation anymore of, oh, we got to go get this $100,000 business loan, we have to do this or do that. Now, there are some businesses that do take some capital to go into it, that do take a fair amount of money, but if you're just in this idea phase, really think through, how can I start this without having to go get a loan or without having to find investors, because that can start you off on the wrong foot. When you start out with debt, depending on what you're doing, that can just make things a little harder to get financially stable. So for this, really just make sure you're doing your research on the type of industry you're wanting to go into and the type of business you're wanting to start, because there may be some tools, there may be some resources out there that help you start this type of business on a very shoestring budget. Myth number two, you have to quit your job first. So this one, very similar to kind of what I went through as well. The first, I would say, 2 or 3 months of my business, I did work another full-time job, the job that I had been in for a few years. And the way that things are these days, depending on the type of job you have or the type of business you're starting, when it comes down to it, if you're starting, especially any kind of online business, anything like that, similarly to what I did, digital marketing, social media management, anything like that, you can definitely start a business and get it to the place that it needs to be while working another job. So don't let that be the thing that keeps you from starting it, keeps you from going. And I'm going to be the first person to tell you, like, when it comes down to it, if you have a good job, but you have this idea, take that thing as far as you can. Make sure you are still doing what you signed up for, being respectful to your current employer, and not doing anything behind their back. That's not really what I'm saying, but you can, as long as you manage your time well, as long as you're productive and you have your right processes down, you can run a small business while working another job. Myth number three, you have to have it all figured out before you get it started. The truth is, when you're starting a business, nobody has everything figured out when they start. Sometimes you have to stumble through it. Sometimes you have to figure it out. I'm almost a year and a month into my business, and I'm still figuring things out. I'm still figuring out processes. I honestly, a couple months ago, made a pretty big pivot in my business to something where, honestly, when you're figuring it out, you need to go where the money is and go where you're gonna get the most fulfillment out of your job. Because if you're starting a business and you're coming from another job or another industry you've worked in, most likely you're doing that so that you can enjoy your work and take care of yourself, take care of your family financially. That's kind of a twofold thing that you need to do. You may just love work, maybe you don't have a family and you're just wanting to make the money. That could be why you're doing it. I get that. But when it comes down to it, for me, it was that twofold thing. I have a family and I need to take care of them. I need to make sure that our family's financially stable. But also, I needed to do something that I actually enjoyed, that brings me joy, brings me fulfillment, alongside taking care of my family. So business is a learning process, and the best way to learn is by doing. Start small, adjust, and keep learning along the way. All right, myth number 4 is if you build it, they will come. Here's a big one. Now, this is an old adage. I mean, you hear it all the time. If you build it, they'll come. But when it comes down to it, it's really not true. Depending on the type of business you're in, just because you have a great product or great service doesn't mean that the customers are just going to show up. Marketing and sales are crucial. Get the business out there, network, find a networking group in your area, get into different social media groups, Facebook groups and things like that with other small businesses, groups with other people in the area that may be interested in what you're doing, and just try to get yourself out there and make sure your target audience knows you exist. And last but not least, myth number 5, you need a unique idea. Guys, I get it. You don't want to copy someone else. You want something original, but you don't have to have a unique idea to start a business. Because when it comes down to it, there are very few unique ideas in this world. If you come up with one and it just goes crazy and makes you millions of dollars, amazing. That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. A lot of the businesses that are started are different versions of other things. Again, don't plagiarize anything. Don't copy anything that's a unique idea where you're going to get in trouble and your business is going to be shut down. Don't do that. Many successful businesses weren't built on brand new ideas, but rather on improving existing ones. It's all about execution, differentiation, and adding value to your customers. So there you have it. 5 business myths busted. Starting a business is not near as scary as it seems. And remember, I'm here with you. That's what I'm here to do. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget where our ideas come from, where our creativity comes from. I want you to be praying through this whole process and really seeking God to figure out what He wants you to do, because He'll give you the way to go. He'll give you the guidance. He'll give you the wisdom you need to succeed. And when it comes down to it, He has good plans for your life. Don't forget that. Use that as the hope and the peace in your heart to move forward and start this business that He's given you. I pray blessings over everyone that is watching this video. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.